Precious Jewel's Maternity Home Business Plan by Onisha Bradshaw. Hi, my name is Onisha Bradshaw, future owner of Precious Jewel's Maternity Home. This maternity home has been a dream of mine since I was like 15 or 16 years old. My mom withdrew my sister and I from like the Chicago area to Texas because she wanted us to have a better lifestyle and not fall into like teen pregnancy like most of my family did. And she was successful. My sister and I, we didn't become teen moms, and our lives are so much better because of it. I want to be able to help other teen moms get like a stronger foundation so that they can support their kids and still, better themselves. And so I feel like Precious Jewel's maternity home will be able to do that. Here is a more in-depth look of the business plan. Precious Jewel's Maternity Home will be a startup, not-for-profit social service agency serving the greater Dallas area. The organization will be founded by Onisha Bradshaw, who has the education to lead the organization. Precious Jewel's Maternity Home will be a 501c3 private corporation dedicated to sharing God's unconditional love with young women over the age of 18 who are experiencing an unplanned pregnancy. Precious Jewel's Maternity Home provides positive alternatives for women. Here they will find love and care in a positive home-like setting. We know the choices of parenting or adoption are tough ones for a young mother. At Precious Jewel's Maternity Home, we don't presume to steer mothers in either direction. Rather, we believe these young women within themselves have the capacity to make the best choices for themselves, and we believe our role is one of giving them some breathing room. In short, if we can serve as a resource that keeps them safe, warm, fed, and housed for a short time, they will come to their own decisions based on their own good judgment. Often young mothers, come from troubled environments and simply need a hand up from those whom God calls to reach out their hand. Our target audience is identified as women between the ages of 18 to 26 years old who have found themselves pregnant. Goals for Precious Jewel's Maternity Home is pretty simple. The first goal is to secure sufficient funding, both for startup and operational. Second is to create a women's only transitional housing facility that provides housing and a variety of empowering skills. And the third goal is to develop a strong board of trustees that can offer guidance, help with fundraising efforts, and oversee the smooth operation of the organization. Our mission statement is to empower and equip teen mothers and their babies for lives of purpose, hope, and self-sufficiency. As mentioned earlier, the goal of the organization is to provide interim housing and skill training so that young women can become empowered, independent individuals. Services are unique in their female-only clientele, long-duration transitional housing, and comprehensive empowerment program. Transitional housing will make a significant impact on the Dallas/Addison community in both short-term and long-term skill development and empowerment. Depending on how many girls we have, our principal members will include a house director, counselor, and midwife. As you see on the screen, the house director will oversee all of the home's daily operations. The director will manage the home finances, ensure the home meets local and state regulations covering health, safety, and capacity requirements. and hire and manage staff and oversee volunteers. The counselor's duties are to drive residents to community service for help with permanent housing, healthcare, drug or alcohol problems, and children's needs, and maintain the residents' safety in the shelter. And since this is a home for young pregnant women, we need a midwife. And the midwife must be certified, and this midwife will monitor maternal conditions during labor, establish and follow emergency or contingency plans for mothers and newborns, and identify, monitor, or treat pregnancy-related problems such as hypertension, gestational diabetes, preterm labor, and retarded fetal growth. Our board of directors, um, their duties is to provide assistance and consulting to the lead staff, which is the house director, in the area of personal management, financial leadership, board relationship, ministry, and educational leadership. Also, the board of directors will communicate in a positive and effective manner with a wide variety of customers, including board, teachers, parents, young ladies, donors, contractors, and vendors. Another responsibility is for the board of directors to assure proper communication and compliance with local, county, and state regulatory agencies. The fourth duty is to refer any media inquiries to the board. The fifth is immediately notify the board of any condition that may bring adverse or potentially adverse media, legal, or financial risks to the corporation. And the sixth duty would be to maintain complete confidentiality in all matters. All employees and board of directors will be expected to sign a staff code of conduct contract. And the purpose of this is to make sure the staff has a duty of care to ensure that our support services are provided with integrity and credibility. The staff is therefore required to conduct themselves well at all times, and to this end, all staff are required to sign a precious code of contact that basically says, that each employee must abide by the conduct, must during working hours like give 110%. They have to ensure that the resources are used for the girls, and each staff must be aware of all the legal standards in the community and must refrain from illegal activities. And there should be like no lying, and everything must be done in a timely manner. Precious Jewels Maternity Home will be formed as a 501c3 not-for-profit entity. The purpose of this organization is to offer women transitional housing as well as teach skills that allow these women to become self-sufficient, independent, and drug and alcohol free. The funds for this organization will come from many sources, including silent auctions, other in-house fundraising efforts, local government funds, foundation grants, corporate and individual donations, and money from the federal government. As mentioned in the previous slide, Precious Jewels Maternity Home staff is going to have to go outside of its office to raise money to support these girls. So we had to come up with a fundraiser plan. So the goal of the fundraisers is to raise $195,792.08 for the first year operation, and then $184,444.08 the years after. And of course, that can increase and decrease based on, um, society and the way things are. The mission of the fundraiser is to raise money to support 8 young women during their time under our supervision. The young women need beds, desks, cribs, food, and other items to get through their daily tasks, raising their babies. So the way that we're going to raise the money is by going to churches and having individuals give money, and hopefully, we can get around $20,000. Another way is, asking board of directors at like different businesses to make a gift, and that amount that we hope to get is $40,000. We would also like to do events, and these events include a charity golf tournament, Hunger Games, charity poker tournament, wine tasting fundraiser, masquerade ball, art raffle, bingo fundraiser, casino night fundraiser, mystery dinner theater, and a pancake breakfast. And hopefully, the expected rate we want to get is like $70,000 from these events. We would also send out fundraiser letters through the mail, email, and we expect to get hopefully $10,000 from that venue. And then grants from, the local government and federal government. And we hope to get about $45,000 or more from the government. And so these events and, ways of fundraising will happen, around, like we'll go around to different churches quite often, different ones, hit them up once or twice a year and give them a presentation and get them to, kind of meet the girls if they want to meet them and so on. Once a month at different locations, Precious Jewels Maternity Home will host either an art fundraiser, bingo fundraiser, pancake breakfast, mystery diner, theater, and once a year, near the month of September, Precious Jewels will host a charity golf tournament. And during the month of April, there will be a wine tasting fundraiser. The direct mail will go out around February of each year, and grant letters will be sent out at the beginning of the year or whenever these deadlines are. As mentioned earlier, plans for the funds raised by the fundraiser includes um, paying the mortgages for like each month of the house, the equipment, like fixing the equipment and furnishing the furniture and appliances and the office and kitchen equipment. So the house, like to get the house ready for these girls to come in and live and try to figure out what to do with their lives. Um, that amount will be $11,348, and of course that includes home decor, beds, dressers, sheets, desks, microwaves, couch, TV, coffee table, so these girls can have a nice, comfortable setting in order to make a right choice for their future. Precious Jewels Home is in the grassroots intervention stage of the organization life cycle. We do not have a real home office and we do not have a set or regular income as of yet. In the beginning years, staffing will be on a volunteer basis and finances will come from owners' personal funds. Eventually, the board will include members from different churches and possible school employees. Our obstacles include lack of funding and expertise and limited outside support. And our opportunities are creative and energy for the dream. At the moment, across the DFW area, we have 6 centers that pretty much operate the same way as we do. Some are not in a residential area, so they may have like an office front or some other venue. So these places are the Etna Gladney Center, Family Gateway Center, Promise House, Wesley Inn, Bridge Youth and Family Services, and Nathan's House. The advantages that Precious Jules Maternity Home has is the fact that we would be in a residential area that would be close to different schools and daycare centers and hospitals, and we'll be able to focus on these young mothers and hope to have many success stories with which to attract new donors and to let our current donors know that their contributions are making a big difference in these young women's lives. So the services that Precious Jules Maternity Home provides is a collaborative approach to empowering individuals. This program is an 8-step program to develop self-sufficient clients, and the different elements of the program are personal development planning, vocational development, substance abuse prevention, interpersonal skill development, personal and spiritual development, community involvement, creative leisure activities and celebration, and independent living preparation and follow-up. There will be the person who will help with this program is more like the counselor, and within time we hope to bring in like at least 2 more counselors to be on a rotating basis to help these girls be able to become self-sufficient clients. Precious Jules Maternity Home plan to grow includes spreading the word, constantly putting up flyers in public settings, including churches, schools, parks, stores, doctors' offices, abortion clinics, and anywhere else that will allow us to put up a flyer. But more than anything, in order to grow and not fall into default, Precious Jewels needs to raise roughly $16,000 a month to stay operating. So I've taken a SWOT analysis of Precious Jewels, and our strengths are we could be free of long-term debt, we're faith-based yet non-denominational, so anybody can come and we can support them, and we won't be limited to only serving a certain denominational. We have a unique market niche for an underserved population. Our staff is going to create an environment of love. We have a caring director, and it's going to be a safe environment. Our weaknesses are, some fundings are not available from the government since we are a faith-based organization. Our programs is going to be very time and money intensive. We only really have a limited storage space. We are not yet fully equipped to handle second pregnancies. And as a nonprofit, we are subject to unreliable funding streams. And of course, dealing with teenagers and young adults, we had to adapt to the volatile nature of teens. Our opportunities include the housing market downturn, which will be able to help us make a deal on a foreclosed home, so that can be less money, or we can use money to go to different things instead of just putting a lot of money down for the house or even for the mortgage fees. Um, it's a good time to approach churches for support. We can have increased volunteer opportunities due to the younger generation and also baby boomers. And state and country and local government budgets make better connections with decision makers and politicians. Our threats include negative perception, image, misconceptions of teen pregnancies, um, decreases in private funding due to the economy, decrease in government funding due to large debt and deficient budgets. We have to address cultural implications, which can be difficult, and we may not have the resources or funding to meet the residents' long-term goals. Hi, it's me again. Well, because of time limits, I wasn't able to go into like a full detail grasp of Precious Jewel's maternity home. Please take a detailed look at the business plan and enjoy your evening.